Hi guys! Welcome to this episode of the We Are Yarn podcast.
I'm going down to the drugstore, buy a big old skeiny yarn. I'm gonna knit me a kitten, even if you don't give a darn.
My name's Amanda. I'm your host, S. As usual, we are hanging out here in my bedroom today because my kid was asleep and I had set up, and then I rambled on for a while, and then my mother-in-law got here to take my baby to show him off at a holiday party. So I decided to take that interruption as an opportunity to restart a little more focused, a little more caffeinated, and we'll see where we go, because I've already I had a cup of coffee to record a little bit ago, and then I drank it while I was talking to her, and I just made another one. Cheers. This is my new mug. I had one that you saw very often, the beautiful one with the leaves, and it was, I broke it. A million pieces shattered on the floor, and my mother-in-law lovingly bought me that new handmade mug to replace it. First, let's talk about how my camera is a little lopsided. That'll do. Let's talk about what I've been wearing the most lately is for my hand knits, and that is, guys, you're going to be amazed, my starting point. So, here's the deal with this. I made it, and I was really concerned that I was never going to wear it because it's huge, and I'm not huge. I'm a little petite. A little. I was afraid I was never going to wear it because it was so big. But it has gotten cold here in East Tennessee, and I have worn it. I've taken it to work, worn it as just a scarf to go home in, which was good because it was way colder than I was expecting, and it just bunched up around my neck amazingly. I have folded it in half and used it as a lap blanket while sitting at work, and last night I wore it just like a traditional shawl like this, and it was amazing. It's amazing. I'm so glad I made it. I do not regret it one bit, and I thought I would, so I just wanted to give you that little update. Also, the faded knit along, the Fade into Fall, has fallen. It's over now. I have contacted the winner, so if you're the winner, you have a message in your inbox from me, and you need to get back to me. Up next, as far as knit alongs go, sorry for that vocal fry there, is my sweater knit along next year. So we're going to be doing a quarterly sweater along. Here's the rules. I want to keep it as simple as possible, because if it's not simple for me to keep up with, it's not simple for you to keep up with, and then I'm afraid you won't participate. And I want everyone to participate because I want everyone to have garments that they love and can wear and are excited about. I'm sorry, the monitor's still on from where he was napping, and I need to turn that off because that's going to drive me up the wall. Okay, so I want you to have a garment. Ideally, by Christmas next year, 4 garments. Just saying. Okay, so each quarter, 1 sweater. Adult size sweater. Let's say it needs to have sleeves. Let's crochet or knit them. I'm gonna allow swanchos as sweaters. I'm going to allow those big cocoon shrugs. I'm gonna call them sweaters. Because here's the thing, I want you to make a garment that you love, that you want to wear, or that your loved one wants to wear, right? I don't want you to feel like to participate in my knit along, you're forced into a box that you don't necessarily want to conform to. That's where I'm going here, all right? I just want you to have garments that you love. Ideally 4 of them by the end of the year, because that's my goal. This was born out of me talking to Ashley of Twist Fiber Studios about how I have so many sweaters quantities of yarn that I want to knit up. She had this idea. She said that she would start podcasting if I started this knit along. She would get back to the camera. I'm still waiting on that. So, that. I'm going to be working from my stash. I have so many sweaters that I would love to make out of the yarn in my stash, and I'm really super stoked about it. And it's way more than 4. It's probably more like 8 or 10. So we may do this for several years because there's no way I can knit that many sweaters. All right, the one big question I've been getting, are whips allowed? I'm going to have little mini prizes each quarter. If you knit a sweater in each quarter, you get a prize that quarter. If you knit one all 4 quarters, I'm going to be putting together a big prize pack for the end of the year. Okay, so that's a thing. Just know that that's coming. Yes. So the one big thing, are whips allowed? 1 whip can count towards your 4. Okay? So if you have a whip, like if you wanted to cast it on, if you got your yarn in the mail and you got so excited that you said you were going to swatch and then your swatch was actually the star of the sweater, you know who you are. Yes, that counts. Go ahead and use it. That can count, like I said, for 1 sweater out of your 4 for the year towards that final prize. And it'll still count you towards the mini prize too, but only 1. I feel like I'm going to have to start a spreadsheet if I get more than like 3 people participating. Please, more than 3 people participate. Please. So I'm hoping you guys are going to get excited like I am. Any sweater will do. Okay. So let's get to, now that I've answered those questions, I feel good about it. I still haven't decided what my first sweater cast on is going to be. I do still have my faded on the needles. It's inside out now because I tried it on today and it fits. Oh, it's just so good. It fits so good. And when it, I'm sure it'll grow a bit like, you know, things do. And when it does, it's going to be even, oh, it's just going to be amazing. So here it is. It's halfway, I got halfway through the cast off and thought maybe I need to try on for the length. And the length is pretty much just covers my crotch. I like my sweaters to be just a tidge longer, so I think that little tidge that it's going to grow, it's going to be fine. But there it is. And then I'll just have to do my sleeves, which I'm not really excited about. So I've got to finish that. I am considering provisionally casting on the sleeve and just being able to carry it with me and make it my carry-along project, and then do a Kitchener, you know, to attach it to the sweater. Maybe. We'll see. Because there's nothing going on it. You know, if there was ribbing or something I was going to have to line up, I wouldn't do it that way. But it's just stockinette to stockinette. I don't see how that could be a problem. If you know how that could be a problem, let me know. Alright, so I have that sweater. I also still have my Rhapsody and cables going. I really think that that's not going to be, I think that's going to be my fill-in. It's not meeting my knitting needs right now. It's just too much brain power. My baby brain has finally resolved, but it's still so heavily cabled I have to think really hard about it. So it's kind of on the back burner. It's not even up here where my main projects sit anymore. Alright. Let's talk about how I have... the sweater has kind of been on the hold because... I'll talk about it at the end. You guys know last time I was talking about how my shoulder kind of hurt. Lifting my sweater to turn it as I was knitting was really bothering my shoulder. So I set that aside. I picked up my husband's socks. I wanted to knit him for Christmas. This is Desert Vista Dye Works. I don't know the name of it. It's Desert Vista Dye Works. I've had it for years. It's I think a Doctor Who colorway. I'm calling it a Doctor Who colorway regardless, because that is a TARDIS blue if I've ever seen it. I am at the point where I'm ready for heels for my husband. I realize that the stripes don't match up. I didn't think about it before I cast them on. He won't care. He's to a fun point with his socks now. Alright, so if I worked on them gangbusters, I could probably get these done by Christmas. But he was looking... I'm excited to have them where they need the heel. But they're going to be put on the back burner for Valentine's Day now. Because we needed... My husband trims his hair pretty short. And we were talking about needing to put a hat on my kid. And I was like, if the kid needs a hat, you do too, sweetie. And he was like, well, I don't know where my hats are. I was like, they're in this basket that I bought for your hats. And so he goes through and I said, here's one. And it's the Watchman's cap that I did him several years ago. And he was like, no, I want this one. And he pulls out this hat. I crocheted him, I think before I was even knitting, really. And it's just like gray Cascade 220. And it looks like the cat ate it and spit it back up. I mean, it looks like it has been through the ringer. And I was like, really, that one? And he's like, yeah, I like it because it's tight against my head. It's not real loose. I especially like it when I'm working out in the garage, in his workshop. And I was like, well, okay, wear that one. But then I was like, I need to make him another one. And I bought this yarn to make him socks many moons ago. It feels so good to be able to say I'm using yarn from many moons ago. But here is the yarn. It is called Jon Snow, is the colorway. It is by, oh, I don't have the tag. It is by Tailored Yarns, maybe. I'll put it over here. But Jon Snow is the colorway at any rate. It's a superwash merino nylon blend. And so my child helped me ball it up because that's his favorite thing to do now, is to wind the ball winder. And I got to train him early. And I pulled out my Bryson Distributing Braspun Palmwood, not H, but I hook. I love using this hook. It is just so amazing. I think it's because it's wood. It's just so gentle on my hands. And the pattern that I used for that other hat was the boy beanie from Stitch and Bitch Happy Hooker. And here we go. I'm holding my fingering weight doubled. And I only have one more row to go. And then I am to the end of the pattern. I'm going to hold it up to his hat, his old hat. It looked kind of short when he put it on his head, so I'll probably add a row or two maybe beyond where that other one ends. And I may even not cut it off. Just let him open it up on Christmas and try it on. And if he thinks it needs another row or the row needs to be taken out, we can adjust it on Christmas, because it takes no time at all. I am a little concerned because, well, in the fluorescent light, I was looking at it last night, the pink looked very pink. And I think it's supposed to be like blood stains because Jon Snow. But I think it blends in really nicely now that I'm looking at it under this light. I really like it. I like how it's turning out. I think he's going to really be stoked about it. Because I don't make things for him very often. Because he loves my socks and he's totally knit worthy. But his feet, my feet are tiny and I can barely make it to the end of a pair of socks for myself before I go crazy. I don't know why. His feet are much bigger than mine. And I just, yeah. So I'm really excited that I'm finally making him something. I'm excited to have more time to work on his Doctor Who socks. So the Doctor Who socks are in this Doctor Who bag by someone whose name I don't remember. I think I got that at SAF several years ago. His hat is riding around in my beer bag that was gifted to me by a lovely friend. And then I also, you know, I'm on a Christmas kick this year and a crochet kick. Why do I not crochet more? It is so fast. So I showed you guys, I believe, I had knitted one of these cute ruffle scarves. I completed this hat to go with it. It's a little big, but I think. So this is the simple slouchy something something hat for somebody. I'm such a good podcaster today. But here it is. Isn't that adorable? So this is Vanna's Choice Baby in the pink poodle colorway. This is a free pattern. What you pretty much do is cast on however many stitches it called for, which I don't remember. It comes in, I think, toddler, child, adult. No, child, teen, adult. And so it has 3 different sizes, and you cast on and you work half double crochets into the back loop until it's the appropriate number of inches or centimeters, depending on how you want to measure it. And then you seam it up and then tie it through the middle, cinch it up, and then place pom-pom. I chose for the pink one this pom-pom. Now here's my tip. Because the fancy fur pom-poms that I found were crazy expensive. I had thought about doing like they did and doing a snap. I lost my snaps, and so I just didn't do that. What I bought were keychains, faux fur keychains that were $4 at Michael's and then on sale. And they have these elastic bits in there. See that elastic? I just looped my yarn through that elastic bit and tied it on. Done, son. And I was afraid it would be too floppy, but I don't think it is at all. I love it. So, here's the pink set. And if she doesn't want it flopping around, we can just have a bigger brim, you know? Do that. Or something. Whatever. But it'll work for her. These are for my nieces for Christmas. I'm pretty excited about that. And then I made this lovely blue one for the other niece. This one I made the size smaller because it is for the younger niece. And it turned out a little bit smaller than I expected even. So it's not quite as slouchy, but still super cute. This is Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, Metallics, in, it wasn't called turquoise, it's called some clever name, but it's turquoise. Let me see this. And to go with her blue hat, she has this black and white ruffle scarf of goodness. Super fashionable, right? And this is the same thing. I bought one of those keychains with the elastic and pretty stoked about that. And they were so fast, guys. Why do I not crochet more? Because it's so fast. You may be seeing a lot more of that from me. Crochet, that is. And I know there are a few of you going, yay! All right, where am I on time? Oh my gosh, I've been talking 20 minutes. Okay. That's all right, because I am only one thing away. You know, it rarely happens that I get really excited about a pattern and really want to cast it on really fast. But you know how it is when you have the yarn and the pattern reveals itself and the marriage is going to be perfect. You can't deny it. You have to whisk it off to Vegas and get it married. So that's what I've done. Well, bye, Pippin. Melanie Berg has been posting her version of an advent calendar on Instagram. Every day she gives, please stop. Every day she, for Advent, has been posting a pattern that is, I think she makes it 20% off maybe, but then all the proceeds from the pattern goes to Doctors Without Borders, I believe. At any rate, I bought a couple of her patterns. But this one, is called Decemberist. It's the one I bought this one day. I have had it in my queue for a while. It is knit with bulky yarn. Bulky or super bulky? Yeah, I think it's actually a super bulky. So, I don't know if you guys recall this yarn. This is riding around in my Twist Fiber Studios camping bag. Hey ladies, those are my girls. This is hand dyed by Araucania Yarns Luxury Roving, distributed by Knitting Fever. I think it's KFI Luxury Collection, Lux Collection, that I saved from the Tuesday morning. And, you know, it was a regularly $30 a ball, 56% off at the Tuesday morning. And then I think it was even on sale on top of that, maybe. I bought it. I tried to make a crocheted shrug out of it, and I realized I wasn't going to have enough yarn before I cast on the last ball, so I just quit. It's been sitting that way for a while, crocheted up. Isaac helped me. You know, singles yarn is not easy to unravel, so I'm doing it a little bit at a time. But this is a shawl that's knit up on giant needles. I'm holding my Luxury Aran Double to make it super bulky. And here's what I have so far. And guys, I am going to love the heck out of this. Love it. It is so squishy and soft. And it's just going to be amazing. Amazing. My hands don't particularly like it after working on it for a little while. So I can't sit and have a, you know, marathon knitting session with it, which is why I haven't gotten real far. But I needed something, yeah, I just needed something a little different that wasn't just knit, 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 garter stitch, knit, 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 or knit in the round. Or I needed a little bit. I don't particularly love purling, but I needed a little purling in my life. And this has met that need perfectly. I'm using my Liking Interchangeables. It's on a US, guys, 11. US 11. And this is, it's taken me no time to get that far, and look how big it is already. I'm really excited about that. So excited about it. So my next cast on, I've I have to sit down and decide what my sweater cast on is going to be for the first sweater of the year. I'm torn because I have some beautiful fingering weight and I want to make that granito out of that beautiful fingering weight, but I'm finishing up a fingering weight sweater here that's taken a little bit, well, it's actually not taken as long as I expected, but of actual knitting time, but I don't know if I want to go from one fingering weight sweater to another fingering weight sweater. I kind of feel like maybe I want to knit up some of my worsted. And since I'm on this end of the house where my Wi-Fi is not so bad, let me show you the one I'm thinking about. Yeah, this one. I bought some Stonehenge Fiber Mill shepherd's wool back, when was the last Winter Olympics? The Winter Olympics where they had USA made yarn hand knit into sweaters for the Olympians. And I remember the snowboarder, what's his name, Sean what's his face with the hair walking in his sweat. You guys know the one I'm talking about. Anyway, so I bought that year when that yarn was so popular with the goal of making an Elena Daco sweater, but I'm not in a place right now where I want to be wearing tight-fitting sweaters, and all those are tight-fitting sweaters. So I think instead I'm going to do this. Isn't that gorgeous? This may be, because it has the simple lace with very simple cable, or that may even be a mock cable. Lace. It doesn't talk about a cable in the things, but this is Mailin, M-A-I-L-I-N, by Isabel Kramer, and mine will be this beautiful, it's Sage is the colorway. There we go. So it's going to be great. So that may be what I cast on for my first quarter of the sweater knit along, because I think it'll have just enough interest to keep me interested. But it'll be worsted weight, so it'll go fast, and it'll be a big bulky knit, so I'm not going to be real concerned about the fit as much. Not bulky as far as the yarn, but as far as the sweater fit, it'll be big loose. And yeah. So I managed to squeeze all that in less than half an hour. Do you want to hear about me? You want to hear about my life? You remember? Yeah, so I was telling you my shoulder was hurting, and I went to the doctor. We were hoping, you hope that it's the easiest thing to fix when you have something wrong with your body, and you try that first. That should be your approach to fixing any problem. Try the simplest solution first. A lot of the times that'll fix the problem. So we tried the easiest solution first, which was rest and an anti-inflammatory, and it mostly fixed it until I didn't go to the gym because I was afraid that I would be, yes ladies, okay, I was afraid that I would be, what's the word, tempted to do things that would just injure my shoulder, and I was starting to get stiff all over because I've been really active and all of a sudden not, and I'm getting stiff. And so I was stretching and I was being very careful, and then I went, oh, that feels good. And that, it was over. I did it a little more forcefully than that, and it hurt all over again the night before I went to the doctor. Of course. So he was like, yeah, alright. So the anti-inflammatories didn't help, so now I'm on a high-dose steroid burst is what he called it. So that's been super fun. Maybe that's why I have so much energy on top of all this caffeine. I'm also on steroids. And guys, so it could be that easy thing to fix that could be fixed with the anti-inflammatory response from the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory and now the steroid. I was hopeful in the beginning. My hope is turning into realism in that this is not fixing it the way it should, and I'm pretty certain that it's not good. This problem I have when I've done my research now says that people who lift weights often have this problem, and I'm really concerned because my doctor says that it has to be fixed with surgery, and I don't have time for surgery. I do not. So I'm really hoping that maybe surgery is the ideal fix, but if maybe physical therapy or something could help instead. I'm so nervous. But don't put the cart in front of the horse. Next step is imaging, and I'm hoping to get that done, after Monday, when I probably get bad news that I need to have it imaged. I'll go get an MRI done before my deductible resets January 1st, and we'll go from there. So that's that. And then in the middle of all that, I got what I thought was a god-awful cold. And when I was at the doctor last Monday, I was like, and I had this god-awful cold, and I'm on day 10 of symptoms, and it won't go away. And he looked up at nose, and he said, oh, do you have allergies? I said, no. He said, I think you have allergies. I was like, oh. So now, I'm on so many drugs, and I don't like it. I hate taking pills. I'm a pharmacist, for Christ's sake, and I hate taking pills. Anyway, that's my life. But you know what? It's the holiday season. So whoop-de-doo and hickory dock. I put my little tree here. I thought about recording. I can see my bird feeders from here. And we have this red-bellied woodpecker that has been visiting. He's huge, and he's been visiting my suet feeder, and he's hanging out there right now. And just seeing him from this different angle, he's so pretty. Anyway, oh, and there's a junco. So many cool birds at my bird feeder this year. I'm having so much fun watching it, and Isaac is getting really excited about it too. He likes looking at the birds with his mommy. Steroids and caffeine, and I am not on any kind of train. I'm just gonna stop talking. I was gonna talk some more, and I'm just not gonna do it because I have no idea what direction this train is gonna take me. So we're just gonna stop here. Guys, I would say I hope to record one more time before the new year. But I'm going to be honest with myself. That probably won't happen just because of schedules and holidays that I'm working and holiday things that are happening and family functions and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and wish you all very, very happy holidays. Hanukkah has begun, so to all of those who celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy holiday of whatever kind you enjoy celebrating with your family. I hope it's safe, meaningful for you, and full of love. I hope that your New Year's Eve is not too wild. Please be safe. And take care of yourself. And yeah, just thanks for hanging out with me, guys. You're the best. Take care. Bye-bye.
I just can't wait to finish. I got the kitten in blues. No, I just can't wait to finish. That's why I got those kitten in blues.